JC here for retirecheap.asia. Who wants to sit around in a house? Who wants to sit around in an apartment? Who wants to stay in the city all the time? You? Not me. You know, I did a video, I did a 100K trip called the Samong Loop trip, and Samong Loop bike trip, and it was very well received. It was sort of a long video. It was almost an hour, and some people said I should have broken it up. Well, we're going to do another trip. This time we're going to go from Chiang Mai to, the plan is, now remember, most of my videos are on the fly. They're unscripted. The logistics are that there are no logistics. You get to see it the way it happens. But this time we're not going to take a little motorbike. We're going to take a pickup truck. It's a four-door pickup truck, and the reason why is because I'm not going to be blowing back to Chiang Mai to be able to put these videos up for you all. I'm going to be able to have to do it from the road, so I'm taking a little more gear with me, so I need a better vehicle. Also, on the way, we're going to go from Chiang Mai, Mae Hong Son to Pai, and so these are all up in the mountains. Just from Chiang Mai to Pai, there's 730 winding roads through the mountains, and so it could be done on a bike if I had some gear set up on a bike. A bigger bike, I think, would be better. I could take all this gear with me. But because I'm doing it on the fly with you all, we're going to do it in a pickup truck this time. Now, some of the times I'm going to stay in rooms, but I know some of the people here are either have an adventurous spirit or they have a small budget. So we're going to do this both ways. If I find someplace that's really nice to stay, we'll get a room. But if not, I'm prepared. Look at what I went out and got. I got a pad to be able to sleep on, because what? We're going to go camping as well. Now, camping's starting to become very popular with Thai people. So, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to spot the campgrounds because I don't know the word in Thai for camping. But we have a pad to lay on, we have a tent, and we also have a sleeping bag as well. And it's still going into spring, so it's still very cool at night. So this ought to be really nice to do. Now, you're coming along on this trip with me, and it's going to be in sections. We're going to part this thing out, and so who knows what we're going to find, who knows what we're going to do along the way, but you're coming and taking the trip with me, and we're going to see what the north of Thailand is like. I love the north, I love the people, I love the mountains, and I love the temperatures. So let's go along, and now I'm not sure how many days this is going to be. I'm not sure how many parts it's going to end up being, because like I said, most of the stuff I do for you all is unscripted. I want you to see it the way it happens. So we're going to jump in the truck and we're off to the mountains. And let's see what happens. And come along on the trip with me and experience northern Thailand. Well, we're on the road. And it's about 200 kilometers to Doi Inthanon. Now, Doi Inthanon will be one of our first stops. Of course, we'll stop on the way for any kind of cool stuff that I want to share with you all. But our first big stop will be Doi Inthanon. And the thing about it is I got a late start, which isn't good because Doi Inthanon is the highest point in Thailand. And even though it's probably about 93, 94 degrees Fahrenheit in Chiang Mai, it's going to be freezing cold up in Doi Inthanon. So, because that's going to be my first major stop, and it's going to take me, depending on how many stops we make along the way, about 4 or 5 hours. And I got a late start because I had to gear up everything to travel with video equipment, computers, stuff like that, so that I can upload this stuff to you along the way. And plus I had some errands I had to run first. I got a late start. Okay, bottom line, got a late start, which is going to put me up in Doi Inthanon about dinner time, which isn't good, because if I showed you I have a tent, right? And sleeping in a tent in freezing cold weather is not a good thing. So I'm going to have to figure this out along the way and see. I might have to get a guest house, a room for the night. I'm not sure. But we'll play it by ear. Anyway, we're on the road, so let's see what we can find to show you along the way. So anyway, by the way, what I did is this is a giant loop that we're making. And I left Chiang Mai from the south end of the city, and we're going to go down, and then we're going to turn to the west and head up into the mountains, and that's where we'll find Doi Inthanon. And so that's the route we're taking, and we'll go through the mountains from Mae Hong Son, Doi Inthanon to Mae Hong Son to Pai, and then back around, and then we'll connect back up with the road on the north end of Chiang Mai to come back in, and that'll be a few days from now. But anyway, we're on the road, and we'll check in a few minutes, see what I can show you. Hey, well, I got to tell you, I had a little senior moment there. I just realized that I told you it was 213K to Doi Inthanon, but that's not the case. It was a senior moment there, I guess, trying to drive and talk at the same time. But anyway, it's not that far to the mountain, to Doi Inthanon. I should be there in an hour or so from now, and it was to Mae Hong Son. It was the 4 hours, something like that. So we should be good. I should be able to camp tonight. But I'll tell you something else, is I'll be really happy to get up in the mountains. I'm interested in seeing how far the smoke and haze extends in this region. I've always said, if you've watched any of my videos, I think I mentioned before, that it's almost like clockwork. From February 15th to about April 15th, the air quality is really bad. It gets hot, smoky, and dry. And so we don't have wind, we don't have rain, and I really think it's a natural phenomenon. People are saying they attribute it to a lot of the burning of the rice fields, and people preemptively burn mountainsides, actually, to keep the dry tinder down, so they won't have a wildfire. But I really think that it's some kind of natural phenomenon, sort of similar to the Smoky Mountains in America. They call them smoky because there's a haze. Because this is just amazing, like clockwork, it shows up. And I can't see that everybody starts fires at the same time and created this. It's really bad. I'll try and show you on video, but I don't think it'll show up. So I'm really, really excited about getting out of this smoke. And after this trip, which should be 4 or 5 days, something like that, if I've not been able to drive my way out of it up into the mountains, I'll tell you what, the next trip you're going to be watching is going to be to the seaside, where there's going to be some fresh air. So if you are living up in Chiang Mai or in the north, I know it extends to Lumpang as well. This smoky season, and last year I think it got up 5 times what they consider acceptable to health. 5 times that much. It's not a good thing. So always plan on taking a vacation from February 15th to about April 15th, about 2 months, and go sit in a hammock at the beach or something. But we'll see how far, if we can drive out of this up in the mountains. But I should be at Doi Inthanon in about an hour or so, and then I should be able to make my way further down the mountains, not back down to the city, but someplace where it ought to be warm enough to be able to camp if I need to. So there you go. That's a checkpoint for right now. Hey, guess what? I'm at Doi Inthanon, the highest point in Thailand. And I'll tell you what, I got my answers. Actually, the air up here is really nice. It's beautiful. And it's amazingly clean, but as you look down off of the mountain, you can see all that fog and haze and nasty stuff down below. But we're above it up here pretty much, but now we're up in the clouds. So every once in a while, clouds come rolling by. But the cool thing, and pun intended, is that when I left town, it was probably about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm standing in the sun, and it's nice. It's really nice. But if you were in the shade, it would be rather cool. You'd probably need a jacket. So, welcome to the highest point of Thailand. Now, I also had a little bit of a challenge with the vehicle. It's pretty steep getting up here, and when I actually stopped for a moment, there was some overflow from the radiator going into the reservoir. So I'm not sure if that's going to create a problem down the road. We'll see. It's a lot easier going down, though, so that's a good thing. But beautiful up here, and I can get off the mountain and have plenty of time to probably find a place to stay, whether it's a campground or a room. But again, welcome to the highest spot in Thailand, and we'll continue our trip now. If you ever get a chance, and it's summer and it's hot, come on up here. I've seen people do this trip on motorcycles. If you have a good, powerful motorcycle, it's better to have about, the 125s would probably make it up here, but they'd be struggling. 175, 200cc minimum would probably be a good idea. But anyway, that's the scoop. Up here at the highest point, I'm looking forward to staying in this cool weather. Nah, I can't. I'm not looking forward to going back down into this haze. But that's the scoop. We're on our way. So, JC out till the next video. So I've made a stop. I'm a little bit hungry. I haven't had any lunch today, and it's getting sort of late, so I want some food. But I've just passed a stand, a long, big stand, that has all sorts of fruits and stuff like that. So we're going to check out the fruits. They also sell strawberries. Now, if you saw my video on me doing the 100K Samong Loop, I had the best strawberries I've ever had in Thailand. They were actually sweet for the first time. So I'm going to check out these and see if they're sweet, because I see they're selling some strawberries. And we'll see what else we find, okay? So let's go check it out and see what we can find. Let's see, we got strawberries. What else do we have here? I'm not exactly sure what these are. Oh, the strawberries they don't look so good here. Let's see, so the strawberries that are cheap are the ones that don't look good. The expensive ones are the ones that look good, and they're probably sweeter. But I also notice that they actually have cups of strawberries that are cut with a cup of sugar next to them. See the cup of sugar next to strawberries? So that tells me that they're probably not sweet. That's probably a good indication. Ready, cup? Wow, look at the broccoli. Nice looking broccoli. Wow. Bags of green tea and a lot of dried fruit. We got dried kiwis, dried mango, all sorts of dried fruit. Oh my cup. Ooh, rice. Wild rice. Wow, nice. 50 baht for some wild rice. Yeah, I'm assuming that these strawberries aren't sweet. Every one of them has some cups with sugar next to them, so that's probably not a good sign showing that they're sweet. Okay, we got some yams on the Barbie. Buddy cat. All these people are hill tribe people up here. And their hill tribe outfits, you notice that? See all the hill tribe outfits? Very cool. So this is the tourist stop for souvenirs and stuff, as you can see. Kids with their ice cream. Little hill tribe kids. Very cool. Oh, I like the little papoose on the back. The lady working with her child. You don't need to leave them with a babysitter. Well, I don't think there's anything I'm going to be eating here. We'll probably continue down the mountain and stop at a restaurant and grab something to eat. Well, let's see, there's some veggies down here. Let's see what they got down here before I jump back in the car. And the car seems to be okay. It's not overheating. I don't see any water coming out, so that's a good sign, right? Broccoli, huh? Oh, soy. Oh, they got spinach, too. Wow, spinach, fresh spinach. Very nice. Oh, more fresh spinach. Ooh, that looks good. If I was going straight home, I'd be buying some of that. Okay, well, nothing else I'm looking for. So let's jump back in the car and head down the mountain, maybe get something to eat at a restaurant. Well. You'll never believe it. What a day. So, last time I said goodbye, I headed back down the mountain. Now, I don't have a good cell phone signal going up and down the mountain. I lose it, but I have GPS in my phone. So I assumed I needed to go back out of the national park to go to Mountainous. So I got all the way down to the bottom and said, do I turn right? And to get a confirmation. And the park official said, no, you need to go back up to the top of the mountain. So it saves me 100K. I could go outside the park and turn, but there's a turn inside the park. And guess where it is? All the way up at the top again. So my poor little truck's got to chug back up to the mountain, up the mountain to find this turn. But I did notice when I was up there, before I came down, that there was a place that had camping. So if that's the case, I'm going to camp out up here on the mountain, freeze my butt off probably, and then head back down in the morning, find the turn, see if I can find it tonight. Maybe I can leave early before anybody's up. But find the turn up here at the top of the mountain that'll take me down the back side of the mountain instead of having to go around it. And it'll save me a lot of time. So we're going to check that out, and let me go find out about a camp spot. But I am really hungry. Haven't eaten since breakfast today, so getting some food here, and then we'll go find a camp spot. All right? See you in a few. So I've ordered my food, and I want to show you what I got. I got an omelet with some cheese and mushrooms, and then I've got what's called kapao kai, which is chicken and basil. So check this out. Now this is at a park, a national park. Let's see how much. Ani rakatarai kap, ani songjan. There. Loi haba. Loi haba. Oh, okay. Kap kun kap. Ani rakatarai. 35 อันนี้ 70 Oh, okay. ขอบคุณครับ Because I got the omelet without rice, it was 70 baht, so it was more expensive. And so it's 105 baht, which is $3 and something at a national park. That's still pretty good, right? All right, so let me eat, and then we're going to go find our camp spot. All right, see you in a few. Hey, guess what? I got lucky. Where I was eating was the national park, the headquarters for the national park. So I asked them, was there camping? They said, go check at the counter. So I went to the counter, and sure enough, there's camping right here. And so it's a national park. I'm thinking, oh boy, it's already getting dark. I don't want to go anywhere else, so I'll have to put up with, whatever they're going to charge me to camp here. So I went to the counter, and they said, you want to go camping, huh? I said, yeah. And they said, okay. I said, I have my own tent, I got my own bag and everything. And they said, okay. So I held my breath because it's a national park. I'm thinking, I might get gouged here. Guess how much it was? $1, 30 baht, $1. So I'm good to go. So it's starting to get dark. I've never put up this tent before, so I got to get this thing up before it turns dark. Now, it's not a big tent. It's a little tiny tent. I'm hoping I just wave it like this and it just springs open. I think that would be very cool, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But let me show you what this place looks like. Now notice, look in the background here. I don't know if you can see this, but there's hundreds of tents here already set up. I guess those are for people who don't have tents. Now, I'm really hoping that in an hour or two, buses don't show up and load these things in with people, because they're already set up. And that would be cool, huh? But anyway, let me get my tent set up, but let me show you this place, okay? You get a view of nice big tall pine trees, and it's already cool. It's going to be cold tonight. So here, let me show you this place, and then I'm going to get my tent set up. So as you can see, nice big tall pine trees. It's all cleared out here. Excuse me. And this is the camp area. So you can see they got little markings where you can put your tents up. But unlike these people over here checked in when I did. And then there's another tent set up. There's the bathrooms over here. Another set of bathrooms back in there with showers. And there's another little tent here. And that's it. It's only us. And then all those empty tents, which I hope remain empty, But anyway, okay, got to start working on getting that tent set up. Okay, later. Well, there you go. Still got a little bit of light, and got the tent up. So that's the good news. You want the bad news? The bad news was all the parts for the tent aren't there. Now, I didn't get a chance to set this thing up before I left, and so I didn't know. But there's a rain fly that goes over this, and I got the poles for it, but I don't have the rain fly. So hopefully when I get back to town, they'll give me a rain fly. And this is dry season, so I'm not worried about it raining tonight. So that's not a big problem. But I'll tell you what, putting this thing up, I felt like a father on Christmas morning. And there was no instructions, not even a piece of paper. Maybe that's with the rain fly, eh? Anyway, it's up, and I'm chilling. It's nice and cool, I'll tell you what. It's already pretty cool, so I'm imagining tonight it's going to get pretty cold. Good thing I got a sleeping bag. Of course, it's the lightest one I could buy because it's hot in Thailand. Why would I need a cold bag, right? But anyway, this will be cool. This is day one, finishing up, and I'm going to see if I can't get a good enough, strong enough internet connection to send it to you up to YouTube. Day one of the trip to Mae Hon Son Pai. Spend the night in Doi Inthanon National Park. JC, out. Hey, good morning. What a great night sleeping. Well, it was a little bit chilly, I gotta say. So, it's morning time. I'm in Doi Inthanon National Park, but I'm supposed to be going to Mae Hon Son. But I've got called away. I've got an important call from Chiang Mai, and I gotta head back to Chiang Mai. So plans have taken a little bit of a turn. So, as they say in Thailand, Mai Pen Rai. I always see things happening the way they're supposed to be. So the way I look at it is I need to go address the radiator issue, the overheating in the truck, and also swap out that tent. And then we'll continue the trip some other time. So everything happens the way it's supposed to, but I had a great night. Oh, cool thing. After the sun went down, it was dark. I saw all these lights all over the mountain. I'm thinking, I didn't notice they had all these like accommodations everywhere. They looked like porch lights on a big condominium project or something like that. So anyway, I went and investigated, and what they are these little hot houses. They have strips. I don't know what they're growing in there yet. I'm going to see if I can find out on the way home. And there's visqueen over bamboo, and they're arched over the top, and then they've got lights inside. So these were all over the mountainside. Really cool looking. I can't imagine what their electric bill is, but I'm not sure if they're growing strawberries or whatever in there. But anyway, heading back to Chiang Mai. It's been fun traveling with you for a day anyway, and camping out with you. And like I said, we'll continue this trip another time. But hey, got to go with the flow. All right? JC out. And remember, when it comes to having fun in Thailand, there's always an option.